I remember staring at that screen and thinking, there's no way that this can be real. I closed the email, opened it back up, closed it again, opened it back up, and it still said the same thing. And in that moment, I generally thought, what have I done? What's going on, y'all? My name is Dr. Eli, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. On this channel, I make videos with advice for pre-dental students, as well as vlog my dental school and residency journey. So if that's something you're interested in, please make sure you subscribe, like the videos, comment under the videos, and share the channel with anyone who might find it interesting. So today I'm gonna be talking about something that people don't talk about on the internet a lot, and that's failure. Today I'm gonna be talking about my biggest failure in dental school. To give you some context, dental school is already super stressful. Every year has different stressors, and I've explained that in a previous video where I talked about the hardest year of dental school. Start D1, you have a whole bunch of different classes that you're learning how to manage. You have 1 to 2 exams every week. Then you get to D2 and you gotta balance lab, and you gotta balance class, and you gotta balance practicals with exams and all this stuff. Then D3 hits you. You have an even bigger challenge because now you got to deal with clinic and patients while also still having classes and taking exams. But surprisingly enough, D4 year is where I had my biggest failure in dental school. So D4 year, you got some pretty high stakes exams. You got an IMDBE, which is your board exam, and then you got the CDCA or ADEX licensure exam. Now the IMDBE is I think about 5 hours or maybe 7 hours total written exam that you take on the computer, and it's split up into 2 days and somewhere around like 500 questions or so. And the CDCA, your licensure exam, is a hands-on skills assessment that also has a portion that you take on the computer. So for the CDCA, it's broken up into periodontics, prosthodontics, endodontics. Those are usually all grouped on one day. Then you have a diagnostic skills exam. That's your OSCE that you take on a computer. Then you have anterior and posterior restorative, which is usually on one day in itself. Now, the way that my school splits it up is that in the fall, you take pros, endo, and perio. And in the spring, you take anterior restorative and posterior restorative. The diagnostic skills exam is totally up to you when you take it. So in the fall, I was scheduled to take my pros, endo, and perio portion right around late September. Now think about all the extra stressors that I had going on at this time. I'm traveling for residency interviews. I'm trying to finish graduation requirements before I leave for externship. There's a lot going on. Now, on top of all this stuff, I gotta find the time to make it into sim lab so I can practice for my pros, endo, and perio licensure exam. So for prosthodontics, the exam is that you have to cut 3 crown preps, a number 9, I think. One of them is for a front tooth, one of them is for a premolar, and one of them is for a molar. If you cut an inadequate prep on any of these 3 teeth, you failed the pros portion of the exam. The perio portion of the exam, you essentially have to do an SRP on 1 quadrant, and if you leave a certain amount of calculus, you fail the exam. For endodontics, you essentially have to do a root canal on a front tooth and an access cavity on a back tooth. If you fail either one of those, you fail. If either one of those are inadequate, you fail the endo portion of the exam. Now, on top of all this, the cost to take the entire CDCA licensure exam is about $3,000, and you get 1 repeat before you have to pay to take it over again. And I believe you only get 2 repeats before you have to take the entire thing, all the sections over again. So when I took the CDCA for the first time, I failed pros and endo.
Quick intermission to the video. If you're watching the video and you've made this far and you're enjoying the content, please drop a like on the video. It's right here under the video. Just click the little thumbs up button. It's of no cost to you, and it does so much to help boost the video and the channel in the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video.
One of the crowns I cut was under reduced, and my access cavity for endo had a ledge in it. So now I had to prepare to take both sections over again. And it was even worse this time. I had to come to school after externship, where I was working from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and practice in the sim lab over and over and over again so I wouldn't fail another time. Now, what was helpful for me is that a few people I knew actually failed as well, so we were all in the struggle together, including both of my classmates that were on externship with me. So we kind of kept each other motivated to go straight to sim lab after we left externship. Now, this really made me hit an emotional low point. Once you hit that failure stage, especially when you have a lot going on, you start thinking about how you could fail at other aspects of life. So of course, after I failed those 2 sections of the CDCA, I started thinking about what if I don't match? What if I don't get enough interviews? What if everything goes wrong? And that's something you have to constantly battle internally when you're in dental school, because negative thoughts lead to negative things. And I don't believe that you should ever speak negatively on your own life. Looking back, that failure was probably one of the most important moments in dental school because it taught me resilience, especially when I was on my high horse. I had to lock in and focus on what was important. Take a step back from YouTube, take a step back from working out, and lock in the sim lab, because that was all that mattered to me at that time, was passing that exam. I tried not to look at myself as a failure. Everyone slips up, people have bad days, and one thing about the CDCA exam is that things can go just so perfect while you're practicing, but when you get in that licensure exam, things can be way different. It's really just how you feel that day. But as a dentist, you can't afford to have a bad day. You gotta cut good crowns every time you step in the office. You have to do good preps every time you go in the office. So I had to remove that mindset that, what if I just have a bad day? So finally, in October, my time to redeem myself came around. I took the CDCA for the 2nd time, and this time I only had to take endo and pros, so I didn't have to worry about perio. Actually, now that I think about it, I remember that I had to take it right around my birthday, which is in early November. So it also ruined my birthday weekend because I had to start preparing for CDCA and I couldn't even hardly enjoy my birthday. But the best part about it all, I got the news that I passed that retake of CDCA the same day that I got the news that I matched into orthodontics. It was truly, truly a great Friday. So what's the moral of the story? If you put in the work, things get better. One failure is not the end of the world. And sometimes good news comes when you need it the most. If you've ever been in a position where you failed, trust me, we've all been there. Pick yourself back up and try again, just like Aaliyah said. Was that Aaliyah's song? Anyway, y'all get the point. I just wanted to share that story with y'all for anyone that needs motivation to keep going right now. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.
I got baguettes in the back of my ring, and I went trying to hit. I told her she gotta run to the team before she can talk to the lit. Before she can talk to the jet. Lamb chop, I just pulled up.